Probably haven't seen me in a while, have you? So when I uploaded the video saying that I was gonna stop being an influencer, I promise you the plan was not to stop uploading videos at all. Life just got so busy. When Kev's sister arrived, we started getting into like this rut, like this working rut, and just I signed a new contract with work with more hours, so that's taking up a lot of my time, and I'm only off on Wednesdays, which I then try and use to do content for myself and study and all of that. So it got so hectic, and then I realized like, oh my word, I didn't like vlog or upload any videos during summer, and we had a blast. Like summer is amazing. It was amazing. We're going into winter now. It is officially autumn here in the Netherlands, and the weather outside currently is 7 degrees, so yeah, it's getting a bit chilly. But yeah, today I wanted to sit down. I know I asked you guys if I should start vlogging again, and everyone was like yeah, but I felt like it would have been weird just jumping in and doing a vlog just again from being away for such a long time. And I do consider you my friends as well, which is weird because I feel like it's easier for me to sit in front of a camera and open up completely and be completely vulnerable and open and honest than what it is for me to be that way with someone in person. It's like the weirdest thing ever. I don't know how to explain it, but yet I consider you my friend, and I wanted to sit down and just like have an open honest conversation with you about like everything, because I've been here for a year now and I don't have a script or anything planned. I just want to talk from the heart and share frustrations with you, maybe challenges we've been going through, really nice things, just what's on my mind lately. So yeah, let's do this. I think if you have like a coffee or lunch or something, like just enjoy that and enjoy this chat with me. And if there's anything you can relate to, like pop it down in the comment section down below, because yeah, sometimes I think we feel like we're alone in things, but I know that like everyone's going through something and everyone faces the same challenges. And maybe if there's something you can relate to or short story you want to share, like please feel free to comment, because I would love to read like your point of view on things and that sort of thing. So it's my 1-year anniversary in the Netherlands a few days ago, and if you're not familiar, Kevin and I spent 7 months apart, where he was here before me because he's Dutch citizen. They're much more stricter with spouses and things like that, and also we don't have any children, so there was no reason for me to be here in the Netherlands. So it was a long story sorting the visa out and all of that, and then obviously I came eventually 7 months after. So Kev's been here more than a year and a half, and I've been a year. And the sad thing is that the honeymoon phase has kind of worn off, if you know what I mean. Like the honeymoon phase usually refers to something when you move into a new house and everything is like new and fresh and fun, or you go on vacation, you have like that honeymoon phase feeling, or the first time moving somewhere, or the first time doing something, the first time trying out a new gym session you love. It's like the honeymoon phase, and then it like dies down and you get used to things. And it's a sad thing. It's not a bad thing, but it is a sad thing because you don't look at things from the same perspective. Like Kevin and I said, we're so used to how the buildings look and the boats, and those are things in the beginning that we went wow, like freaking out over the stupidest things. Or when you see the bicycles riding around, you're just like, I love this. And now you're kind of getting used to like everything, and it becomes a part of your daily life. And sometimes we do tend to take things for granted because you started getting used to it, but at the same time it's also not a bad thing, because it starts feeling a little bit more like home every day, even though we feel like we're not completely settled in yet. It's a weird feeling to explain. It almost feels like we still have to go back to South Africa, even though our plan is to never go back. Like, this is our home now, this is where we want to stay for as long as we can. But somehow it does not feel exactly like home. Like, and South Africa also doesn't feel like home, so it feels weird. It's like, where's my home? But we absolutely do still love it. I have actually vlogged so long ago that I completely forgot to charge my battery, so this was a little bit disrupted, this vlog. How professional. So I was saying that I've been here, and yeah, the honeymoon phase and all of that. So I think yeah, it's a good thing also, because you start noticing like things you don't like and things you maybe, yeah, I would say rather dislike. I do have a few things which I'll share with you guys, you know, because I mean, I'll be open and honest about it, and it's really actually stupid things. So the very first thing I noticed when I just got here, and this is still like my top thing that I dislike, is the spiders. There are spiders everywhere outside. Like, they on your bicycle, when you clean your bicycle of all the webs and stuff, and then you go out, you come back the next day, all the webs and stuff are on it again. They literally spin webs from the roof to the cars' roofs, like under by the parking. The cars move, they go to work, they come back, there's webs like all over the windows and the you know, the little side mirrors and the handles, and like everywhere where there's a corner, they freaking spin a web. At the entrance, there's so many spiders there at night. Like, Kev knows now that he just opens and I just walk like this, because I freak out. Like, I have a big fear of spiders, so it's really been challenging for me to overcome that fear. And yeah, the spiders are just like everywhere. We have a bridge here across from our home. It's called the Spinnenbrug, and spin is like a spider web. So there's like a shit load of spiders there, you guys. Like, I refuse to walk over that bridge, and especially during this time, I believe it's mating season, so all the spiders are like out, like in your face. It's quite hectic. It's like, and the people here don't care about it. Like, they call it milieubevis. Like, even the, you know, like, we'll just kill little bugs or whatever that comes in our house, but they have like freezing spray where you have to like freeze the bug and then like catch it and put it outside, and they believe in not harming any of the environmental things and like all of that. But for me, I try and just like keep the spiders out of the house, because I also don't really want to like kill every single thing that comes into the house. So I keep the windows closed most of the time, and then we do like lavender oils and peppermint oils to kind of like keep them away. But it's definitely something I struggle with, so that's the number one thing. Hectic, right? Then the second thing I would say, definitely for female, it's a real struggle finding a bathroom. On the trains, the bathroom is shared, and it's usually very disgusting, because the men stand there and there's just like wee everywhere, and then a woman has to go in and sit. Yeah, donkey. It's something that really grosses me out. And if you do find a public toilet, you're probably going to have to pay about between 50 cents and €1. Every time you use it, you have to like swipe your card. And then sometimes you go into the toilet, like mostly at the stations as well, you'll sometimes go in, and then it's also a toilet that some stations that are not big, that also have like shared toilets where the men and women will use the same toilet. I just don't get that. And then I've paid for a toilet, and then the toilet's like full of shit. I know this is really nasty, so I'm really sorry if you're eating, but it's gross. Like, you don't want to use it. So I tend to like keep in my wee, and it like sometimes like my bladder will feel like it's bursting, and it's so painful. But I just refuse to go to the toilets that we do have available. But yeah, it's not like you here in a mall where there's like use of toilets. Like, it's such a weird thing, because I thought like that would be a basic human right. But here, even if you go into McDonald's, you still have to swipe your card or put in 50 cents to use the toilet. And yeah, it's funny, because in the Centrum you have like these little cubicles for men where they can just like whip it out. Nice, it's so great for them. What do we do? Like, it's kind of annoying. yeah, so especially when we travel, I try not drink as much stuff, and I try and use the bathroom before we go. And then I really try and see where I can find, like, if we go to a restaurant, we'll actually go to a restaurant just to have a drink, so I can use their bathroom at least, because usually that helps a little bit. But that's like one thing that's quite hectic. So just note, if you ever travel to Amsterdam, or if you have, you can probably relate, but it's very difficult finding a toilet if you are female that is actually decent to use. The other thing I would say is that obviously a lot of people live here with their pets indoors, so they do take their pets outside for walks and stuff like that. And I love putting my feet on the grass and sitting on the grass and that sort of thing. But here you probably have 90% chance of stepping into shit every time you put your feet onto grass, because the people here don't pick up their dog poo, and it's quite annoying, but it is what it is. It's just one thing that I dislike, because you feel like you cannot walk over the grass. Like, it's best to stay on the little footpath, because you'll definitely walk into dog poo. And I know it's a stupid thing to like dislike, but it's just something I noticed and I thought I'd share. Okay, this one is maybe a bit more of a real issue, but the housing situation is definitely a big problem in the Netherlands. If you don't know about it, obviously, I mean, the Netherlands or Europe in general is quite overpopulated, I believe most countries, not all of them. So housing is a big issue, and by us moving here, obviously it's not like helping, but so I don't want to get into controversial subjects like that, because I've had someone tell me like, why did you move to Europe if you already know that it's overpopulated and blah blah blah. But again, like, Kev's got the Dutch blood, and we have those Dutch history within his family, and it's just like an important part of who we are. So how it works here is everyone's looking for houses, and including us. It's been a real struggle. We haven't spoken about it, but I'll tell you guys about it. So the last 10 months we have actively been searching for a new home. We feel really boxed in, and I think that's also why I felt a little bit grumpy and I haven't been online as much, because my mood is not like at like the best of places, because we've been struggling so much with finding a new home. So we feel like this apartment, it is nice and it is your typical Dutch style of living, but coming from South Africa where we're used to space, and also what makes it difficult is we literally just have this room, and I work from here, we relax here, we watch TV, our bedroom is just like a little corner on its own, but it's very difficult to separate our lives. And I literally have boxes standing everywhere with work stuff, which we don't have any space to put it in. So it's like we're growing out of this apartment. And yeah, for the past 10 months we've been actively searching for a new home with no luck whatsoever, because the market is just extremely saturated with people trying to find new homes, and we cannot buy at this point. We do want to rent, and also we want to get a feel of like where we want to live as well, because judging from a small apartment, we're not sure if this is exactly what we want to do, or maybe like living on a farm is like our ultimate dream, or just having a bit of a bigger space where I can have like a separate office to work from, because I do work from home. It will obviously be nice to also, when friends and family come over or come visit us, that they have a place to sleep. So anyways, yeah, no luck whatsoever. How it works here is mostly, I'm just gonna obviously talk in general, but usually you have to apply for a house as soon as it come online, because sometimes you'll look at a house and you'll already see like 3,000 people also looked at that house, and sometimes over 1,000 people reacted on that house. So every single time they send you forms that you have to fill in, like 3 pages long, with your income and just a lot of information with every single house you're trying to get a viewing of. So you send those documents back to the agent or landlord or whatever, but usually it's an agent, and they send all of it, or they make a selection out of it, they send it to the landlord, and out of like all these applications they choose maybe 10 or 15 people to come and view a house or apartment or whatever it might be. And then there's like a viewing date. I remember when we went with Kev's sister, it was so overwhelming because everyone comes at once. Like they open the door and everyone's just inside, and it's extremely overwhelming because you see like all these people looking around and asking questions, and I actually get a little bit of anxiety just talking about it because I remember the way I felt when we went with it. It was quite hectic. And then out of those people, they can now apply for the house. So then you send like extra documentation and stuff like that, and then the landlord chooses one person that will win the house. And sometimes people even bet on the rent. Like sometimes they'll say we're willing to pay €100 more, or we're willing to pay like €200 more just so they can get the place. So it is like a really tough situation at the moment. So like I said, we've been actively looking for a house for the past 10 months, like just applying everywhere. Like we haven't even, first off we started off by saying okay, at least 3 bedrooms, maybe a garden so we can buy. But later on we were just like applying for everything that we can see and sort of feel like it will work for us, because you are so desperate. And we not only applying in Zola, we started applying like within a radius of Kev's work, like 10 or 15 kilometers radius. And just know, like whatsoever, it's been very disheartening because when we also spoke to a South African agent that helps South Africans find home, she couldn't help us. Most of them can't help us because they're mostly based in Amsterdam. So they also charge like a €900 fee or whatever, and then they find a home for you, which is like a crazy amount. But we were even willing to pay someone that fee just to be able to find us a house, you know. But they, all of those we spoke to, they couldn't help us because they based Amsterdam side. We obviously more in like the eastern side of the Netherlands, and I don't think there's actually a lot of South Africans who live here, but like the expat world or whatever is more like Amsterdam, Randstad side, I would say. So yeah, we're kind of struggling on our own, but I know like I need to get a new battery because my batteries are not lasting at all. Like this is weird. It's barely been a few minutes. I'm gonna put it back on charge and then we'll be right back. Okay, shall we try again? I feel like this is very unprofessional, I'm sorry. I also wanted to mention that with the house thing, another thing that actually counts against us is the fact that we do not have children, because they would rather give a home with extra room to someone who has a child or children rather than giving it to someone who doesn't. So there's that, which I get is a bit discriminating at the same time. Not discriminating, but like a bit unfair, because we all have a right to, you know, have an extra room, especially if I want an office. But I also understand the whole children thing. But yeah, we know that the right thing will come on the right time, and when it happens it will be amazing. So it has been a bit disheartening, and it's made me feel a little bit grumpy because I feel like I'm a little bit like stuck here because I work from here, and I find it difficult to like put on my shoes and go out for a walk because I don't know, it's just like that thing that you want to do something but you also don't really want to leave your house. But when I'm here it always feels like I'm at work because I spend more time working here than what I do actually relaxing. So I think it's just a challenging thing. And you know, I've actually also gone through a bit of a tough time because I spend a lot of time alone, and I actually get emotional talking about this, so I just have to like take a deep breath. I've been struggling to deal with living without Ivan. Now Ivan was our dog, and he was literally like a soul dog. I can never talk about it because I always get sad, and I always try and talk about him without getting sad, but it just shows you the type of loss that we dealt with. I think it's been very hard being alone without that support of a friend or a dog. Well, I say friend, but what I mean is like literally your dog. He was like our child, and I do miss just the cuddles and the love and things, and I often wish that things could have been different. But I also know that whether we are here, whether we stayed in South Africa, we lost him either way. This is why I never talk about him. Nothing would change the fact that we would have lost him and that we lost him, and that there's nothing we can do to change that. And I miss him a lot. I think obviously, you know, you do miss family and friends and all of that as well, so sometimes it's just like an added on thing. But I cannot say that we're unhappy, because we're really not unhappy. We don't feel like we ever want to go back. There are just some things that you miss, and I think that is just something that comes with immigration, that comes with the whole honeymoon phase kind of fading out, and like realizing that you become so dependent on one another. Like Kevin and I, we are so dependent on each other because we literally only have each other, and that's like crazy when it hits you like that right in the face, you know. I've been struggling like opening up to people, which again, it's so funny because here I am opening up to camera to probably a lot of strangers watching me. But like I said, I do consider you guys my friends, but I don't open up as easily to people in general. Actually, I tend to be a bit closed off, and it also comes with my channel. Like a lot of people here don't actually know that I've been like this influencer, or maybe I briefly mentioned it if the conversation came up about what we did in South Africa or things like that. But and sometimes some people know about me because they saw my video on YouTube with us moving to the Netherlands and all of that. And then I always get nervous meeting people in an environment where they get to know me on a personal level, because I feel like what they see online, like they judge me compared to what they see me on here. But let's just face it, like I'm not always happy and excited as I am on camera, because obviously I film like the best parts of me. I'm not gonna film like the weaknesses I have or things like that. Yes, I can become vulnerable, but when I'm misluck, I'm not gonna pull out my camera and film. When I'm having a grumpy day, I'm also just human at the end of the day, and I also get misluck. I also have been grumpy lately, especially, and I also like have days I just make mistakes and are not perfect, and I'm always scared of people getting to know me on a personal level based off what they know I am online, because it's not that I'm a different person in real life, it's just that I'm actually also real and have mistakes and do make mistakes and not always treat people right when I'm in a bad mood, and you know what I'm trying to say. So I tend to be extremely reserved when I meet new people, and I've often heard that people will say that I'm misluck. And trust me, I can be misluck. I know that I really can, but I mean, that's all of us. We all have some sort of weaknesses that show up when we get to know people on a personal level. But also I'm always afraid of what people think of me, which is something I have been struggling a lot with. And I think that's also why I've been struggling to build really strong connections with people, because I'm always afraid of what people might think of me or how they would judge me, whether they know me on here or not. In general, I always worry about what people think or say about me, and it's actually a bad thing, and it's something that I shouldn't be worried about. But I don't know, it's just something I've always cared about, and then I tend to kind of keep myself a little bit more reserved or pull away from people, you know, to prevent people from judging me in a bad way. It sounds stupid saying that out loud, but I don't know if you guys can relate. I also want to mention a very difficult time our family have been through. A while ago, my dad had a heart attack, and it was very ooh. I think I can talk about these things and then I just like get all teary. It's crazy. It was a very difficult time to go through. Kevin and I, we in the habit of always like picking up the phone and phoning my parents or his parents, video calling almost every week. And the one Friday we decided to phone him, and he answered and he was in the hospital. And I got such a big fright when he told us that, yeah, he was making a joke, like saying, oh, sy hart werk nou nie lekker nie, and what, and I got such a big fright in that moment, you know. And my dad is okay, thank God he's okay. When that happened, you start realizing how quickly you can lose someone you love in your life, and how valuable time is, and how important it is to actually really it's really important to count your blessings and take every day as a blessing, and the time that you get to spend with friends and family, because that made me realize how quickly things can change. And I'm very grateful for God and I'm struggling to film this video. I don't want to be this emotional. I really just wanted to have a nice conversation with you guys. It's so stupid. I just cannot control my emotions at this point. Okay, I'm very grateful for how God stepped in, and you know, it's been months of struggling, and you know, tests and medication, and I'm very grateful that my dad is okay today. Like, God's protection is really over his life and his health, which I'm very grateful for. But that was a big scare, especially moving away. In the back of your mind you think about things like that, but that just, like, that was such a reality shock about like moving away from home, you know, and that was really difficult for me to deal with. So I think that's why I haven't been online as much, and I've been grumpy as well and all of that. But you know what, like, I'm so excited because in 2 weeks time, 3 weeks time, we're going to South Africa for holiday, and we're going to spend a lot of time with our family, and I'm just really grateful for the opportunity, and I'm going to soak in every single moment, and I'm just really excited for it, because yeah, you have an extra appreciation for time that you do get to spend with loved ones, which is just it's irreplaceable. You cannot buy it, you cannot exchange it. You can't put a price tag on it. It's just, when you realize that, like, a lot just changes for you. So yeah, that is kind of the thing. I'm extremely sorry for getting emotional. I'm sure you guys understand and you can relate if you've gone through something similar. Other than that, I can actually say that it's been going really well. My weight loss journey has been going really well. I've lost about 7 kilograms, went off the pill. Life has been so much better for me. I will have to create like a whole different video with that and my experiences and things like that. I'm really comfortable at gym. I am really like settling in a way, but also I wish I could make Dutch friends. Like, I do have one Dutch friend, and if I don't know if she'll be watching this, but she knows who she is. And she's just been super kind. I'm so excited to go visit her on Sunday. I'm going to take her some malva pudding, because obviously it's proudly South African. She's never had it before. So, and then also a while ago we bought a car, which we haven't really posted about, because I don't know, it's like we were so proud of it, but at the same time it's like something we just wanted to keep to ourselves as a little achievement. We bought it all cash, so we didn't buy it on credit or anything like that, and we call it. So when I was watching Korean TV shows, they were saying oppa or someone, or they referring to someone, so we call the little car oppa, like that. And I think it's so cute, so that's the little car's name. And that's been like, even though we don't drive a lot anyway, Kev uses it for work, to go to work and back. And then obviously we use it once to go to Amsterdam, but still we prefer driving with the train and our bicycles and walking. Like, we really enjoy that, which is something we love about the Netherlands. Like, if you're an active person, you're absolutely going to love it. If you're not an active person, you're probably not gonna like the Netherlands that much, because you do have to walk and bike almost everywhere you want to go. But for us, that's been really amazing. The language is really coming along quite nicely, especially with my Dutch friend. Like, I try and speak Dutch to her all the time, and she's very open, and usually the people are actually quite accepting when you try and speak Dutch. Like, they do answer you back and understand it fully. But speaking it, I just struggle with like putting my sentences together properly, and obviously I have like the worst Afrikaans accent. Like, I've heard that the way we speak Dutch, it sounds like we speak Dutch with an English accent, and I actually kind of get it, because in Afrikaans, also when you think about how words are pronounced in Afrikaans, when you listen to it from a Dutch perspective, it sounds like Dutch with an English accent to it. It's like the weirdest thing ever. But I'm trying to work on it, and Gabe speaks Dutch every day at his work, because the people there actually don't even understand English that well. Like, when he spoke English to them before, they just don't get it. So he was kind of forced to speak Dutch to them, and he's been really good at it actually, in following conversations and making conversations and making his little jokes, and you know how Kev is. So he's been actually really adjusting well. He loves his job, which is just so special, you know, especially with his background, with struggling to find a work in South Africa and that sort of thing. It's quite like, it's so nice to see him be so happy, you know. And then of course I'm studying as well. I don't know for how long I'm going to be able to keep it up. I really hope that I will be able to finish it. But I started my degree in business administration, and it has been tough, let me just tell you. Like, distance learning, and then also doing a degree, and then also working on top of it, creating more content for yourself online. It's quite hectic. I also work as a content creator. For most of you who don't know, I work for a marketing agency here in the Netherlands, and we basically focus on Facebook advertising and also Google ads, and starting to go into TikTok and that sort of thing with a lot of different brands. So I work on that full time as well. So creating content is really like the essence of who I am lately. But oops, I hit maximum record. Wow, this video is so professional, you guys. And now I can't remember what I was talking about, because I know I spoke about like being a content creator and how content creation is like a part of my life, but I absolutely love it. And I think also with immigration, a lot of people think it's just like moving to fairyland, but you do still have challenges you face, and we understood that from the beginning as well. Like, we went into this knowing that there's still got to be hard times. But if you guys have any relatable stories or anything you just want to share, feel comfortable to pop them in the comment section down below. I would love to read them. It's always nice to know that you always have someone that you can talk about. And like, I feel so relieved just having this conversation with you guys, just sitting down and talking about life and what happened, because it's just it's being real. And it's like, yes, I know we don't always post all the bad things on social media, because sometimes we also want it to be like a positive space to escape to, and for people to go to when they just need to take their minds off of some stuff. But I also never wanted to make it seem like our life is so perfect, because trust me, it really isn't. And there are definitely challenges and things we faced, as I've mentioned a few lately. So yeah, if you came all the way to this part of the video, I'm just so grateful to have you as a friend online. And yeah, I just want to thank you so much for having this chit chat session with me. I hope you enjoyed it, and from here on we can go ahead and we can vlog more, and we can just like kind of pick up the pace where we've left off. So I'm wishing you a beautiful day, and I will definitely be back with a vlog soon on a much more professional note, with cameras charged and SD cards empty and all of that sort of stuff. So as always, until my next video, stay sweet and I will talk to you soon.